Hello there and welcome back to Inside the Man Cave. My name is 𝗩𝗣𝗣𝗪𝗙𝗪𝗍𝒣𝗍. This is where I showcase my pop culture collection. In this episode, we're taking a look at the supermarket collectibles from Australia, from both Coles and Woolworths. Now, if you don't know what these are, pretty much they were some special supermarket collectibles where you'd spend a certain amount of money and you'd get something to collect. So either a cool little collector card, or a little character that you can build, or just something collectibles that you want to collect, but you'd have to spend some money. Now, they've been running these for a few years now. I haven't collected all of them because there's a lot of them I'm not interested in, but these were the kind of interesting ones I wanted to collect. We have the DC superhero builds. We've got the Coles Little Shops collectors. From Woolworths, we've got the Disney Wonder Worlds, and we've got Pokemon as well, another Pokemon build from Coles. So these ran for a few years. There's one, the DC one, I think it was from 2023. I don't know if they've done a recent one for 2025. They might have, I can't remember. But here are all of the collector cases. So we're gonna look through them and I'll show you case. Now these are all complete as well. So let's dive in to the supermarkets collectibles. So to start us off from Coles, we have the superhero builders from DC from 2023. So basically you would spend, I think, about $30 at the Coles supermarket or online, and you'd get one of these DC cardboard hero builders to build your favorite superhero. So this is the special collector's case, and this is a complete collection with the rest of the ones that I'm going to showcase. Now, these are not all of the ones that Coles and Woolworths have done, but ones that I would like to have in my man cave. So this is the DC Comics one. You can see Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman there. You've got Cyborg over there, Supergirl, and Robin as the front runners. So let's take a deeper look in this collector's case for the Coles superhero builders. So here is my complete DC collector builds from Coles supermarket, and you can see the entire collection there. And they're pretty much just cardboard cutouts that you build together. Now, these are all the collections. There are 35 superhero builders to collect, and you've got the usual famous ones like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Then you've got Aquaman and all the other ones, and lesser known ones, even some villains as well, including Poison Ivy and Vixen. And then over down here, you've got these special edition ones. These are the classic versions of vintage versions of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman that are over there. And then these are all the cutouts. Now, you would literally get a one pack and you'd have to sort of build it yourself, and then they slot in this little these slots here with their own name on it. Now, that's not too bad, but I think there could have been a cooler way to display them. But either way, I'm still happy with that. So I will take one out so you can have a look, even at, I think this is King Shark. He's a bit of a more unique one, but there is King Shark there, and it's just different slots that you literally just put together. You get instructions in the manual to how to put it together, and they've got the name at the back. So King Shark is number 32, and they pretty much just slot in that section there nicely. And then I can have a look at the special edition one, which is the vintage Batman. So that's cool. Looks like maybe a Batman from the 1960s in a way. And then you have the vintage Batman logo there. So they're pretty very basic to build. They're all recycle friendly. Here is another one from the collection with Superman at number 2. And that's the back with the red cape at the back. So again, they're very easy to build, but they can be quite flimsy, especially even trying to get it into that slot there. But that is the complete collection. So again, I'll let you have a little look at the screen. Sorry for the light glare. But they're all the ones you have that you can collect. and the special edition ones as well. So yeah, they're not too bad. Again, it's a cool little carry case, kind of a very sort of vintage style carry case. And they're very easy to put together, but they are a little bit flimsy at the same time. And having to spend almost pretty much $30 on each character, it did get a little bit pricey. But thankfully the promotion ran for a few weeks, so there was enough time to get them all. And I didn't actually get them all. I ended up having to go on eBay to get some of them. But I finally got all my collection. So that is the complete collection of the DC superhero builders from Coles. Still sticking with Coles, next up we have the original Coles Little Shop Collectables. I believe from maybe 2018 or 2019, I cannot be sure, but this is the original first version. I think they did a series 2, but this is series 1, the original version, and one of maybe the first ever collectible supermarket collectibles that ever came out, because I don't know exactly when they started, but this was a very early one. So yeah, this is the front cover, and it comes with a cool collector's case, and then we have this side view over there, and then the Coles case at the back. So let's open this one up and take a look at the mini little shop from Coles. And here is the complete collection of the Little Shop Coles from, again, 2018 or 2019, but for the very first version. So these were really cool because it's literally mini versions of anything, like everyday household items. Like you've got the famous Australian Weet-Bix, you got Tim Tams over there, Colgate toothpaste, you've got bananas and orange juice, Nutella, Vegemite, and some coffee over there. So they're really cool. I think it was really cool little items. Now, I don't know too much about this promotion because I cannot remember. But I think you probably had to spend like $30 and then get one of these random thing items. So let's take a better look at one of them with the actual Weet-Bix. So again, when you take the item out, it has the cover so you know where to actually put them. But that is the Weet-Bix there. It's the family pack Weet-Bix. And then you even have all the information what it would be on the original thing. So it's pretty much an exact replica, but just smaller version. So that is so cool to have. And they just slot right in there pretty easily. And you've got also like a water bottle and Tim Tams, Colgate. You got washing and clean up fluid and everything like that. So it's a cool little mix. But yeah, so it's a little bit of, I'll give you a bit more of a closer look at each aisle. And see if you recognize or have any of them. I've definitely had the oat chocolate milk, which is really nice. And then you've got the 2-minute noodles there. So it's just a bunch of random stuff, because it's not just like food, it's sort of cleaning and health wise as well. Even got some dog food over there, and caged eggs, and potato gems. So it's a full mix of just different ones. Now I think they also did a series 2 as well, which I didn't collect, but yeah, somehow collected this one and have held on to it. So it's quite old. It's definitely one of the original sort of collectibles that these supermarkets ever did. It'd be cool if they did more of these, but I think they only did a season 1 and a series 1 and a series 2. I think I could be wrong. But yeah, let me know also in the comments, did you ever collect any of these collectibles from these supermarkets? And if so, do you have complete collections, or what ones you have? But yeah, that is the Coles Little Shop collectibles. Next up, from 2024, we have the Disney Worlds of Wonders trading cards from Woolworths, and also you could have got it from Big W as well. So this is the special collector's album, and it did, as well as it featuring Disney, it also featured Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. Now I think this was around the 100th anniversary of Disney as well. so they sort of wanted to do a cool little collector's one. Now, if I can remember, I think every like $30 you spend, you get a pack of cards. Now, thankfully, it wasn't just one card. I think you get maybe 4 or 5 cards in the pack. And yeah, you could build your own album. Now, there was a lot to collect. I think there was easily over 100 cards to collect. So again, this went for a while, and you could get it at 2 different places, at both Woolworths and Big W. So we're going to open and showcase the entire album. It is a complete album. It was definitely a difficult one to collect all of them, but I did it. So here is the Disney World of Wonders. So I've now transferred over to my phone because I think it'd be a better way to capture this book than the big camera that I have. So let's go straight into it. And here is the Worlds of Wonder from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. And you can see them represented over here. And then over here is a little information. And I think, as I thought it'd be celebrating 100 years of Disney, as it came out in 2024. And as we go over the page, we begin the journey. And it starts off with the Lion King, with the Lion King trading cards we have here. Then we have Frozen. And the newer sort of Disney film that I haven't seen, Wish, with its trading cards over here. So that's what it kind of looks like with the trading cards and then the images. And then you go over the page, they do have the slots for where the cards would go, so you would sort of know where to put them. And then when you complete them, they have a sort of a diagram of just some sort of information. Just talking about, that's Pride Rock over there. It's just some cool behind the scenes and just some sort of information about sort of each film and everything like that. And that is sort of the back area there they have. Next lot is from Zootopia, that I have not seen, but that is the Disney film. So that's its trading cards over there. And then there is a 90s classic that I've definitely seen with Beauty and the Beast, with the cool cards over there. And then we have from Moana, and the trading cards to go along with that one. Then the back part again is just the outline of the trading cards that would go there. And then here is the diagram for Zootopia, I would say, and Beauty and the Beast, and Moana. Next we have Winnie the Pooh and its trading cards over here. Then we have Encanto, which I have not seen, and the trading cards over here. And another one I've definitely seen, the 90s classic Aladdin, with the ones over here as well. Then we've got the back diagram for Winnie the Pooh and Encanto and Aladdin, which I will try and fix that light glare. But that's Aladdin, and there is the back area. Now we begin the era of Pixar and Disney with Inside Out 2. Then we have them over there. Then we have Cars and the trading cards for them. And the classic Monsters Inc. We've got the back area for Inside Out 2. And we have Cars and Monsters Inc. Next, from Disney and Pixar, we have Ratatouille over here. And Up. And finally on this page with Finding Nemo. And we've got the back diagrams for Ratatouille over here, and Up, and Finding Nemo. Still on Disney and Pixar, we have Luca over here. Then we have Brave. And Coco. And we have the back here for Luca, Brave, and Coco, for I think the final cards for the Pixar and Disney. Next, we actually have a trivia challenge that's in the middle of the book. So there's a Disney trivia challenge. So I will let you guys look at all the questions, and if you want to answer them on your own, you're welcome to. That was the Disney one. This is the Pixar one. And from Marvel. And finally from Star Wars. But that is the trivia questions. That is kind of in the middle of the book. Something random, but pretty cool to break it up from the trading cards. Next we have from Marvel, Spider-Man. Then we have Marvel, The Avengers. And Guardians of the Galaxy. And the back areas for Spider-Man, Avengers, and Guardians of the Galaxy as well. Then I think we just have a random Marvel characters, which I think are from Thor. Then we have X-Men. And then more random Marvel, which should be Ant-Man. Next we have the Avengers over here, with some of the Avengers, and then it's just another random Marvel one, and Daredevil. And we have the back parts for each one with the Avengers, Marvel, and Daredevil. Next, we have the Star Wars section. Now, before we start, I have noticed, I don't know if it's my copy or they just screwed up somewhere in this book, but yeah, some of the names they have on this side is all like weird. Like they have Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, then Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope again, then a new Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope again, but that is Bespin from Empire Strikes Back. And then over the page, like we have then Return of the Jedi, which is correct. Then Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, that's Naboo. Then Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace is Tatooine, but Luke Skywalker's homestead, which we didn't get to visit. And then it gets a little bit more bizarre with Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, but that looks like from Episode 2. And then Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, which that could still be right. And then we go to The Mandalorian. So it's a bit out of whack. I don't know where it went wrong. But yes, that's just a heads up before we start. That's a little bit out of whack. But let's get to it anyway. With the cover of the Death Star over there and the villains. And then we have the Falcon over here. And we have more heroes. And Bespin, which is still saying Episode 4, and then some character cards there. Then we have the back part for Episode 4, and again, Episode 4. And then it actually does say Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, so I think it is a glitch in the Matrix or whatever it was. But that's the back part of the first Star Wars page. Then we've got Return of the Jedi here with those cards. And then that's supposed to be Episode 1, which does make sense. And then more of Episode 1. We have the back part for Jabba's Palace, and Naboo, and Tatooine. And our final trading cards we have from Star Wars, supposed to be Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, with the trading cards there. And then from Star Wars Episode 3, we've got the cards over here. And then from The Mandalorian. And the final back parts with Star Wars Episode 2 and Episode 3 and The Mandalorian. And funny enough, no sequel characters, but that is just the original trilogy and the prequels, and that is it. And then you have the lists all down here that you can collect, and that is it for the book. So despite the couple of Star Wars errors in it was a pretty good book, and again, no sequel trilogy, which is surprising but doesn't really bother me too much. But otherwise, it's a really cool collector piece celebrating 100 years of Disney, but also featuring Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. And finally, from 2024, from Coles again, we have the 𝗠𝗔𝗣𝗢𝗪𝗪 Pokemon set. So again, like the DC set, these were cardboard cutouts that you used to spend every $30, and you could get a Pokemon to put, and you get your own collector's case. So yeah, these are the cardboard cutout ones. You've got all the sort of famous Pokemon from the sort of first generation, but there's a mixture of the original Pokemon, but then sort of the newer Pokemons as well. So let's open it up and see what's featured inside. And here is the Pokemon set, complete set, all 35 builds. So you can get a better idea of which ones come into. So of course you get like the famous Pikachu, and you've got Meowth and Charizard, so there's a whole bunch of ones. Now these unfortunately are a little bit even more flimsier than the DC ones, but I will try and take some out so you can have a look. But this is the complete collection of the Pokemon builders. So here we can have a look at one, and here is Charizard with a cool background that was able to add in. So because I don't think many of the DCs actually had sort of backgrounds to them, they had some other things, but this is a really, each one of these comes with backgrounds, so they're a little, that's why they're a little bit more flimsier than the DC ones, but I reckon they look better than the DC ones with the Pokemon ones. And here is the legendary Pikachu, so you definitely had to have this one in the collection or added to these 𝗠𝗔𝗣𝗢𝗪𝗪 ones. And here we have the mighty Charizard with a cool fire display at the back, looking very cool. So there is just some of the collection. So again, some mix of old original ones, but also newer ones as well. And yeah, definitely the Pikachu and Charizard is one of my favorites. So a really cool collection to have. Hopefully they might even do more, because again, there are heaps of Pokemon out there. But a really cool set to have with the Pokemon builder from Coles. Well, we come now to the end of the journey with the Coles builder ones from Woolworths, with the Disney World ones, and the Coles Little Shop. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you've collected any of these, or if you have any other different ones. But these were always fun to collect. I will probably still collect any more if they do any more that are worth wanting to have in the man cave. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I think definitely my favorite one would be the World of Wonders, and also the Cold Little Shops, because I don't mind the cardboard ones, but they are very flimsy at times. Either way, thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next episode.